Most people who tell me they can't move abroad aren't wrong. They just have reasons that feel safer than the real fear. And that fear, it's not about planes, rental prices, or visas. It's about the trade-offs, the uncomfortable choices you weren't taught to evaluate, the permission you're waiting for, but no one's gonna give it to you. Some people say, I'll miss my family too much, or I have pets, or even, what if I fail when I get there? And here's the truth. Moving abroad isn't impossible. Staying stuck, that's the default. That's what happens when fear disguises itself as logic. Let's talk about the myths you've been carrying and why they're heavier than they need to be. So grab your coffee and let's dive in. And for those of you thinking, but my parents are getting older, what if something happens? I hear you, that fear is real. But here's the truth. Being in the same city where you're burnt out, resentful, and barely keeping your head above water, that's not being there for them either. When it came to China, I had to make hard choices. And I knew that if I stayed, I would have resented my mother. We didn't have the best relationship. I would have resented her more. I knew I had to do this for myself. She asked me to stay, and I went. And for the first time in my life, she told me she was proud of me a year later. And keep in mind, planes exist. Video calls exist. And when something truly urgent happens, you'll go. But sacrificing your entire life over a what if doesn't serve them either. And it doesn't serve you. Missing people isn't the same as unable to live. Guilt isn't the tax you owe for wanting to be happy somewhere else. You can love them and choose yourself. They're not mutually exclusive. I have pets. This one, I need to be honest with you about this one. I've sat on both sides of this fence. I know some of you had to leave them behind. I know that choice is still sitting heavy on your chest because I've been there more than once. You have seen the video where we introduced that we're leaving while we were still in Canada, showed you our pets and the ones we had to leave. Rose over here, she's a new addition in Albania. We had a different dragon there, but what you don't see is before we moved to China, we were fostering 2 dogs. We had them for well over 3 years, so they were a permanent foster. And we were actually starting to go through the paperwork to adopt them. Things got crazy, and I got the job offer in China, and I realized I had to go. I knew I couldn't bring them with me. I've never been abroad before. I mean, it's China for crying out loud. I had no idea. I was scared, so I had to give them back to the agency. It took years of guilt and shame for me to realize this, and I want you to hear this. You are not selfish. You did not abandon them. You made an impossible choice in an impossible situation. Do I regret it? No. But does that take the guilt away? No. But sometimes choosing yourself is choosing the greater good, because staying in a place that's breaking you isn't helping them either. They don't need a version of you that's drowning. They need you to survive. And if you're still carrying the guilt about it, it means you love them. It means the choice mattered. But it doesn't mean you were wrong. Now, years later, we did adopt a set of dogs that were so similar to the 2 that we were fostering. Almost identical looking. The one, Joey, looks a lot like the dog we had. And Nova looks personality, and there's a lot of crossover there. And these dogs, we've brought them around the world. They've been from China to Canada to Italy to Albania. Months of paperwork, expensive vet visits, expensive as heck, but we did it. And here's the thing, these dogs today have the life that they wouldn't have had if we didn't go through what we went through with the other two. We wouldn't have been ready for them if we didn't make that impossible choice. Sometimes the hard choices we make don't erase. They just make the space for what comes next. Your pets aren't the obstacle. The belief that one hard choice defines you as a person, that's the obstacle. People move show dogs, horses, internationally. Now that we covered the kids in fur coats, let's go to the other one. Kids, myth number 3. And this one, it's laced with so much guilt and so much fear of being a bad parent. So let me say this gently. Stability is emotional, not geographic. Your kids don't need the perfect school system. They don't need the exact same house, same friends. What they need is you regulated, present, not burnt out, not resentful, not slowly drowning while pretending everything is fine. Kids adapt faster than burnt out adults. They learn languages like sponges. They make friends at the park. They don't carry that same baggage of what's supposed to happen. But you know what they do absorb? Your stress, your emotion, your exhaustion, your quiet desperation. Watching a parent survive is more valuable than watching a parent spiral in a stable system. And let's be real, since COVID, the world has changed. Online schooling is more available. Online programs exist. International schools are available everywhere. You have more options today than you did 5 years ago. Moving teaches resilience for you and for them. Don't overthink it. Plan for school safety and support, but don't let fear convince you that staying miserable is better for them. Now let's talk about money. Myth number 4. This one is sneaky. It feels like the most logical one, right? The most inarguable. But here's the uncomfortable truth. People don't just move abroad when they're rich. They move when staying costs more than leaving. If you had the money to save, you wouldn't be desperately searching for a better financial option. You're stuck because the cost of living where you are is financially bleeding you dry. So the question isn't, can I afford to move? The question is, can I afford to stay? Most expats live on modest budgets. Some are freelancers. Some teach English online. Some do remote work. There's woofing, au pair, and they do that while they try to figure it out. You don't save your way out. You recalculate. A pace of life where you're not constantly hemorrhaging money just to survive. Yes, it takes sacrifice. Smaller apartment, simpler lifestyle, maybe no car for a while, but it's done more often than you realize. For us, it was both of our income tax checks. And your skills can fund your move. Remote work, freelancing, side gigs. They exist. You just need to stop waiting to have permission to try. Which brings us to the next big one. Myth number 5. What if it doesn't work out? This is the real one, isn't it? All the other myths, family, kids, pets, money, they're easier to name. But this one, what if I fail there like I'm failing here? This is the one that's keeping you up at 3 a.m., isn't it? So let me tell you something. Leaving is reversible. Burnout, lost time and debt often aren't. The risk math you're doing in your head, it's backwards. You think the risk is leaving. No. The real risk is staying. Slowly losing years of your life to a default setting you never even chose. When I moved to China, like I said, I was scared. My first time going abroad. So what I did is I bought a 3-month return ticket. This way here, if things didn't work out and this was a scam or this was not what I thought it was, I have a ticket to come home. Often, return tickets are not much more than the one-way price. And that extra couple $100 was my insurance. It was my peace of mind. And on the day that that return ticket was scheduled for, and I knew that I wasn't going, I was staying, I remember looking at the calendar and looking at the time going, that plane's going back with an empty seat. I couldn't even wrap my head around the thought of wanting to go back to Canada. Are you insane? This place was awesome. It delivered beyond my expectations. And Albania, I had backup options if it didn't work out. I didn't want to go back. The way Canada's going right now, no way, Jose. But I had backup options. And if that was impossible and we absolutely had to go back, I didn't want to spend the rest of my life wondering what if. What if I didn't go to China? What if I didn't go to Albania? Let me tell you, now that I've left, I'm not playing the what if game. I'm looking back on my life in Canada and I'm going, so glad I didn't stay. I'm not going, what if I would have stayed? I know what if. When you elevate yourself to a different place, you don't look back and go, what if I would have stayed? No, you go, thank goodness I didn't stay. You say what if when you're looking up, not when you're looking down. And that's a dangerous game. That what if game, that's a dangerous game to play. Each move taught me something. Each escape plan that I had was proof that I could adapt. For the record, if I didn't take that first step to China, you wouldn't be watching this video right now. My entire life is different because I did not let fear decide for me. And if none of it worked, I would have went home with stories, with adventures, with the knowledge that I tried. You can test it. Short-term visas, trial months, remote work abroad, return tickets or an insurance. You don't need perfect certainty. It's scary. That's why it feels like a mountain. But moving abroad is a decision. Staying stuck is the default option you never signed up for. Moving abroad isn't magical. It doesn't fix everything. It won't cure your trauma or erase your problems, but it is practical. It's about making deliberate trade-offs. It's about deciding what matters most. Missing friends and family? You'll adapt, you'll schedule calls, you'll visit, and you might even be more present from a distance than you were in person. Pets? Sometimes you'll have to make those impossible choices. Sometimes you'll find a way. Either way, don't let it be the reason you never explored the possibility. Kids? They'll thrive if you do. And watching you choose yourself teaches them resilience. Money? You'll find a way. You always do. The question is whether you're going to spend it to survive or live. Fear of failure? That's normal. And you'll be able to move through that once the want becomes greater than the fear. If that fear is holding you back, it's because it's bigger than your want. Your want has to be bigger than your fear. And when it is, when that moment hits you that you want this more than you're afraid, you won't let it stop you. But if it's stopping you right now, it's because the fear is bigger than the want. You're not ready yet. So yes, moving abroad is a challenge. But staying stuck, that's the slow, easy trap. And now you know the myths. It's your move.